Welcome to the Real Christine song. Now that we have a new president, Trump, starting next year, everyone's asking me,
Hey Christine, what's going to happen next year? Should I buy or sell my home?
well, watch it to the end and I'll share you my thoughts on this. So in this video, we'll explore how Trump's term might impact the real estate market. I'll go over the topics including the supply and demand, interest rates, home prices, and what we can expect in our local Maryland and Virginia markets. To best understand the real estate trend for 2025 and beyond, we need to dial it back down to what is proposed to happen to supply and demand. President Trump has talked about reducing regulations to make it easier for developers to build new housing. The goal here is simple: more houses, increasing the supply to help meet the high demand. If these plans come through, we could expect to see more new home construction communities, especially in the suburb and semi-suburb areas. Let's break this down to DC, Maryland, Virginia. In DC, the strict zoning laws and limited space mean this new development might focus on more vertical growth, like high-rises, condos, or apartment buildings. Relaxed regulations might also allow developers to repurpose the commercial spaces into residential units, helping increasing the supply, but home prices will very much depend on the location within DC. In Maryland, areas like Montgomery County and Howard County could see more focus on infill developments rather than large-scale new construction communities due to the lack of open land. Developers may look into revitalizing underutilized properties and focusing on multifamily units like apartments and condos and condo townhomes to meet the demand. In Virginia, particularly in the Northern Virginia, places like Loudoun County and Prince William counties may see more new construction homes if these regulations ease. These areas have more open land and making them a prime location for new communities that can cater to the first-home buyers and for more affordable options. Okay, so the interest rates are the big factor in the real estate market. While the president doesn't directly control them, his economic policies can have a huge impact. Trump has proposed tax cuts and more government spending on things like infrastructure, and while these moves can boost the economic growth, they can also lead to inflation. This means that buying a home becomes more expensive, which tends to slow down the demand. Today, the interest rate is hovering over high 6% for 30-year fixed. If high rates continue during this Trump presidency, the buyer trend could stick around for the next 4 years. Some buyers may choose to wait, but others will decide to buy based on their affordability. Now, let's talk about home prices. Home prices are influenced by both supply and demand, as well as interest rates. If President Trump policies successfully increase the housing supply, we might be able to see slower rate of price growth, which could be good news for buyers. Let's say, for instance, in the cities like the DMV, where the housing market has been hot for years, if more homes become available and buyers faced with high mortgage rates, we could see price stabilize and even dip slightly as people adjust to the new cost of borrowing. It's all about balancing here, and 2025 might bring a shift towards a more stable and balanced environment in the housing market. From my experience, there is still a high demand in this area, so homes that are still prepared well and shows well, they will get more buyers and most likely sell over the list price. It's difficult to say what is exactly going to happen with so many unknowns during this next presidency. But let's take a closer look at Maryland and Virginia. In Maryland, Montgomery County and Howard County remain strong as the seller's market, but slightly cooling markets providing better opportunities for buyers in specific segments. The demand is driven by top-rated schools and employment opportunities as usual. This will continue until a substantial number of new homes are built. It's very similar to Northern Virginia too. Nova continues to be a competitive seller's market, but as mentioned before, builders may start building more homes in Loudoun County, which may be able to provide more opportunities for the buyers. But one thing to note is that although it is still the seller's market in both Maryland and Virginia, more buyers are able to keep their contingencies within their offer. For example, when there were multiple offers, buyers needed to waive most of their inspection, financial, appraisal contingencies just to win the other offers. However, the competition has slightly cooled off and buyers are able to negotiate more so than ever. And before we move on, let's quickly address the Department of Government Efficiency, the DOGE. And no, not the cryptocurrency. There's concern that it could lead to elimination of hundreds and thousands of government jobs, potentially impacting local housing market. However, DOGE isn't set to be an official government agency with enforcement power. While it may aim to advise and address inefficiencies, including reducing corruptions, its influence is limited by mandatory government spendings. For that reason, I don't anticipate DOGE having a significant impact on the DMV housing market. On the flip side, there's also that possibility of increased funding for defense or other critical government sectors, which could bring more business to the region and sustain the high demand in the housing market. In reality, the housing market is influenced by a mix of factors that go beyond just which parties are in that White House. While certain policies can have short-term effects, long-term effects are mostly shaped by the overall economy, regulations, and external factors. Starting next year, President Trump's return may bring substantial changes to the real estate market. But regardless of what happens, by understanding these factors I mentioned, supply and demand, interest rates, and home prices, you'll be better prepared to navigate what's coming in 2025. So the question was, what is going to happen next year, and should I buy or sell my home? And the answer is, the best time to buy or sell is when you are ready. Whether you're buying or selling or investing, it's essential to keep an eye on these trends, and I'm here to help you navigate the hyper-local market because I'm not just another person who just opens the door for you. Rather, I'm your strategist, negotiator, and your advisor. I help you stay prepared, whether it's getting the pre-approval for financing or understanding the best neighborhoods for your family, and even knowing when you should walk away from a deal that doesn't feel right. So if you want to keep up with the current market, feel free to reach out to me. And thanks for tuning in to the Real Christine Song. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more real estate insights. See you in the next video.